Thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess, and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is the Chief Administrative Officer and Deputy Director for the Michigan Department of Transportation, Laura Mester. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
What exactly is your job? You're the CAO. What do you do?
What I do is I'm responsible for the Bureaus of Finance and Administration, the Bureau of Transportation Planning. Those are my two biggest ones, but I'm also responsible for the Office of Rail, the Office of Aeronautics, and the Office of Passenger Transportation, as well as the International Bridge in Sault Ste. Marie. And so what I do is oversee those areas and make sure that we're supporting the Chief Operating Officer to make sure that we're getting funding and planning in place, and then coordinating with the other modes for projects that are important to the regions and ensuring that our capital program is moving along smoothly.
Well, it can't be that fun to be in charge of finance and budget when the finances are limited and the budgets are tight. You know, how is Michigan doing now? I know we have a little more money than maybe we did a year or two ago, but still not best case scenario.
It isn't, but it also allows us to prioritize, and then with the new funding coming in, we're ramping up to make sure that we're investing in the right projects that we should. So we're really looking at our performance goals and seeing with the revenue investments that we have, can we strategically place that in our project listing, and working to make sure that, you know, we're maximizing and being good stewards of the resources that we do have.
At what point do you feel as though the general population of Michigan, folks who use the roads, will say, wow, I'm finally seeing the benefits of all this new transportation funding?
Well, that's a good question. I think because of the cycle of our construction program, we'll always be in construction mode, especially with infrastructure that is demanding, and you know, we've deferred maintenance and capital projects in the past, so we do have to catch up. I think by 2021, when we get the majority, or we do get the revenue that we're supposed to, the citizens will see a lot more projects on the state infrastructure. But beginning, the locals and the cities and the villages, they're getting their program ramped up also. And so citizens will see in their front door projects going on relatively quickly, probably 2017, when they are also getting prepared for the construction season.
Being in charge of transportation, it's a lot more than just construction, repairing a road here, filling potholes there, maybe you're redoing a surface. I mean, you're really talking about M1 rail and bus services and mass transit here, and you mentioned a bridge, and you know, how much of that maybe takes some of the toll off of our roads, but also is a big financial consideration as well.
It is, and we are constantly trying to balance the needs of all of our transportation system, and making sure that the investments that we put into the other modes have that impact on our roads and bridges, so that we're balancing commercial traffic, just regular passenger traffic, so that we're making good investments in all of those, because citizens are looking for multi-modes, and they want to be able to get from A to B with their choice. And so we're constantly looking at how do we find that balance and make good policy decisions, and then investments into those different investment strategies.
When it comes to travel in Michigan, what should we maybe be excited about? What's the next big thing that's going to, you know, really, you know, make us happy?
Well, I think you mentioned the M1 project, the Gordie Howe Bridge. Those things are going to have direct impact. There's several communities that are looking at bus rapid transit. Southeast Michigan is looking for their ballot proposal to support the Regional Transit Authority and the investments that they want to make on a transit side. We have rail projects that we're working with the agricultural industry to support investments that they're making in getting things off of the highways.
All kinds of great stuff going on. Thanks for your time today. Okay. For more information on today's topic, you can visit michigan.gov/MDOT. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Laura Mester, the CAO and Deputy Director for the Michigan Department of Transportation.